Good afternoon, everyone. I am Naphtali Danier, Assistant Director of Alumni Relations at Baruch College. On behalf of the Alumni Relations Office and Volunteer Engagement, we welcome you to our Baruch at MTA Alumni Network Lunch Hour Launch, introducing two dynamic alumni, Lucy Arcardo and Yvelle Stanford, who will introduce the network and share the importance of building connections between Baruch alumni working at the MTA. And we will also hear from Janice McKenzie, a member of the MTA organization. Before we begin our program, just a couple of housekeeping rules. Please keep your microphones muted during the program. And if you have any questions, please type them in the chat and we will address them during the breakout rooms or at the end of the session. To begin, I'd like to introduce the Director of Alumni Relations and Volunteer Engagement, Janet Rosbach.
Thank you so much, Naphtali. Hello, I'm Janet Rosbach. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations and Volunteer Engagement. And it is hard to believe that I've been with the college now about 8 years. And when I first joined the college, we started following President Wallerstein's vision to build a broader international network of our Baruch graduates. As you may know, we have 160,000 alumni worldwide, and we're in 113 countries. We then started building networks by industry and by affinity. We have our Robert C. Weaver Black Alumni Network. We also have our Somos Latinx Network, our LGBTQ Alumni and Allies Network, our Asian Heritage Network, and tonight I'm very excited that we will be launching our Women's Network. The most recent initiative we've been doing has been building employer-based networks, opportunities for alumni within some of our top employers like the MTA to connect with one another, to provide opportunities for alumni at each organization to come back to Baruch and mentor our students and volunteer, to encourage the hiring of Baruch students and alumni, #HireBaruch, and creating new talent pipelines, which I know is a very important part of today's conversation, and also to encourage individual giving and philanthropy, especially from our corporate partners. We've launched these networks with several companies, including Citi, UBS, Goldman Sachs, KPMG, EY, Grant Thornton, and Google most recently. We're looking forward to launching many more, but we are especially thrilled to be launching our network today with the MTA New York Transit, because so many of our alumni, I believe it's just shy of 250 graduates, work for the MTA, and the MTA keeps New York running, as does Baruch College. So I welcome you all. I thank you so much for being proud Baruch graduates, and I will defer to those who will speak following about some of the exciting ways we look forward to engaging with you. With that, I am delighted to introduce Nancy Aries, who is the Acting Dean of the Mark School of Public and International Affairs. Nancy.
Thank you so much, Janet. It's just for me a delight to be here at this kickoff event. Also that an affinity group is being organized in a public authority. It's so appropriate, and I will confess to my own passion for public transportation, making most decisions by studying very assiduously all of the maps in the city. At any rate, as I've been thinking about it, the Alumni Association's focus on building these affinity groups, I really think of as being very path-breaking, because it recognizes that Baruch's alumni represent more than the programs from which they graduated. And it's really about being the sum of its parts. So organizational fields like transportation, they're multidisciplinary. There's no singular pathway that you would find to positions in the MTA. And it requires to be effective. And this is critical in a city like New York. If you're going to create access for people to be effective, the MTA requires the knowledge and skills of a diversity of fields. And you'll find your colleagues hold degrees from several different types of programs. So, in the case of the MTA, okay, we can talk about public affairs and public administration. It's a public authority, but that alone is not adequate. It also requires, the expertise of people from Zicklin. It's a tremendously complex financial system that's reliant, for revenue from the fare box. It's reliant on revenue from the state, and how do you balance all of this? It requires the skills that come from our liberal arts school that is foundational to everything else that we learn, the kind of learning we have. So what you bring, what you share is your passion and disciplinary perspectives to make the MTA a successful organization. And we're so proud that so many Baruch graduates work at the MTA. An organization, which I've already said, ensures that New Yorkers and visitors can have access to work, to school, to everything else we pursue, from concerts to sports to shopping. So basically, it's an exciting for me is the opportunity that today's kickoff represents. For each person on today's Zoom, there's a possibility to expand your personal networks within the field and across a wide array of departments within the MTA. You'll have a network of colleagues from Baruch with whom you have a shared educational experience, whether it might have been the same degree, it might be the same school, and it might be, in fact, the wait for the elevators for those of you who've had that been in our buildings, not necessarily in the last 2 years. But I've never found Baruch graduates, and I would say this from person who are not open to speaking to another Baruch graduate, that if you give someone a number, the person on the other end is usually, or an email or a LinkedIn link, someone on the other end is very happy to respond. And for each of our organizations, I really think it's, creating that essential bond is really essential. We're part of the city of university, and we're all part of the city. We're all public agencies within the city that is trying to make the city a better place. And there's opportunities to create, really strong pipelines both ways. For MTA, for students, graduates, and alumni, we're looking for new challenges to see potential careers in the MTA. And I've seen here today that we have the directors of our career centers, and I'm so glad they're part of this. And it's for you to help create, to be perfectly crass from my position as dean, but for you to share out your experiences with the people who are looking to advance their own knowledge and skills, and where appropriate, where that might be appropriate here at Baruch. And I'd say it's also an opportunity, as I've been thinking about, for you to contribute to the learning experience of our schools. So, whether directly through internships or fellowships at the MTA, or whether you're participating in Baruch's alumni mentorship programs, whether subject experts in the classroom or by collaborating with faculty on projects such as capstone courses, you really represent a way to make their learning actionable. So I want to welcome back all of you here today, back to Baruch in our virtual space, particularly those who will speaking to you, who represent, the best of Baruch, from the School of Public Affairs, from the business school. And I also want to express my gratitude to Janet Rosbach and Naftali Danier for the work they've done helping to organize this, and the rest of her team. And at that point, I want to thank you all for being here, and I'll turn it back to you, Naftali, to introduce our speakers.
Thank you, Dean Aries, for your remarks, and we are so glad that you were able to join us for this virtual event today. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our speakers for today. And if you would, please indulge me as I tell you a little bit about each person. Our first speaker is Lucy Arcardo. Lucy attended Baruch College, where she attained both a bachelor's degree in computer information systems in 1996 and a Master of Business Administration with a concentration in finance in 1998. Lucy started her Metro North career in 1996, immediately after obtaining her bachelor's degree. After less than 4 years, she was recruited into the private sector, where the IT world was focused on Y2K. Y2K was commonly used to refer to a widespread computer programming shortcut that was expected to cause extensive havoc as the year changed from 1999 to 2000. Well, around September 2001, Lucy was part of the layoffs that were taking place. but she saw that as a blessing. She took the opportunity to raise her children while utilizing her Baruch degree to stay employed. She did freelance web design and social media while being a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. In 2011, she reapplied to a job posting at Metro North. It is now almost 11 years that she has been back in IT, working first on the web team, which included MTA's external and internal websites, and currently on the GIS, which is the Geographical Information Systems team, creating mobile apps to utilize map data. We welcome you, Lucy. And our second speaker is Vel Stanford, who also attained both a bachelor's degree and a graduate degree from Baruch College, undergraduate class of 1991, and a master's of public administration class of 1999. Vel is a talent management executive, leading enterprise-wide strategies for the largest transportation system in North America. In her role, Vel taps her 25 plus years of education and transportation management experience to lead strategic talent planning, succession, engagement and retention, training, career growth and development, organizational design, diversity, and leadership development. Her organizational design and development team creates and implements the internal transportation university, supports performance efforts, and assists all their colleagues with their individual employment value propositions. Her MTA talent initiatives focus on aligning the organization's social values throughout its 6 agencies and over 67,000 employees with their future and current leaders. She is pleased to play a role in supporting the company's growth through talent development and fostering a culture of collaboration. We welcome you, Vel. And our last speaker is Janice McKenzie. Janice is the Director of Organizational Strategy and Design within the Organizational Development and Design team in the People Department. In addition, she holds the role of the Acting Director of Engagement and Retention. Janice recently returned to the organization in this role and has prior years of experience with New York City Transit. Her work is focused on standardizing processes across MTA agencies and creating partnerships to pipeline, as well as creating engagement strategies. We welcome you, Janice. And now I turn it over to Lucy to begin the program.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here today. Sorry, I just realized that I was muted. Am I okay? Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's so great to see so many Baruch alumni and friends and colleagues who are here as well. And I just wanted to thank you first, Naftali, for putting this together, and Janet for your hard work behind the scenes. This started out as just a brainstorming conversation, and here we are less than 90 days later, just putting this together. So I just wanted to thank you. And what I wanted to share, what was most important to me, was just having a community, having a Baruch College community where, like I said, some of my colleagues who sit right here near me are Baruch graduates, just like we are. And we have that common bond. As a matter of fact, we have one professor that we've kept in touch with since our undergraduate years, that we still stay in touch with and we still meet up for dinner with once a year. So it's just a common bond that we have, the foundation of being Baruch College students. We know in our hearts, at least I know in my heart, that Baruch is an excellent school. And even if I have 4 kids, 3 of which are either in college, 1 just graduated. So 1 is a graduate of another CUNY school. My second one chose University of Arizona. And my son, my 3rd child, chose Baruch College. And I was so proud and so excited. But when the conversations come up about schools and the top schools and Ivy Leagues and all of that, I truly believe in my heart that Baruch College has an education equivalent to an Ivy League school. I really firmly believe that. And, in having this partnership, this network, I would love for us to be able to give back to the Baruch College community, to give back to New York City, to the city that we live in, to other countries as they're going through things, just like right now in the Ukraine. So just having a foundation where we can create a community, and Janet will speak about that later, where we'll have a platform where we can have message boards and events, and this is what's going on, spread the news, collect in your community, and I'll collect in my community, just things that we can do to give back, but also a pipeline for Baruch College students to work at the MTA. As Janet said before, hashtag, hashtag Baruch and MTA, this is a partnership. And although I know that Baruch has partnerships with other companies, I think the MTA is an excellent company to work for. It's just a place where, like Dr. Ari said before, there's not one path to a position here. You can have a degree, I could have utilized my MBA in finance and worked in the finance department here, but since CIS and the world of technology has always and continues to fascinate me, I still find myself here in technology and always learning. So the MTA is a great place for students to start off. I started off here, and here I am back at the MTA, as she shared in my bio. So I just wanted to thank everyone for being here. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We're going to brainstorm with you. So we're all going to be in this together. We're not the leaders. We're just the ones who started the conversation. This is going to be something that we all work on together as a Baruch College alumni team and MTA employee team, where we can mentor the students at Baruch, where we can go maybe speak at Baruch or do, a day in the life of an MTA employee, and go tell them about, what it's like to work at the MTA. And yeah, so we're here to share anything that we can. So thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Lucy. Yvel?
Thank you, Nefti. And honestly, I share your sentiment that it's just really good to see all of these graduates of Baruch on the line. So I just want to give you guys a big up. I have to do that. Like, I just got to go back there and say big up to all of you, and good to see you guys. And for Baruch, Baruch graduates a lot of very hard working people. There isn't one Baruch alum that I've met that hasn't told me about the hardship and the struggle, but still staying focused on reaching the objective of being a graduate. So I share that with you, and I'm very proud of it. My role at the MTA is one that I offer as support to you. So it's interesting when you're at an organization, and we're always looking for those networks, right? Because leaders who can leverage networks can become very powerful, right? There's a network of Baruch alum here that we have to take a little bit of time and just handshake. So today we're starting the handshake, but the handshake is going to keep going. So let me tell you, when Baruch said, well, let's get a group of people together. So I said, well, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to call them to do? And quite naturally, one of the things that the MTA needs is talent. There is a real call to action around getting, I'm going to say, charity begins at home, getting our fellow alum to help us lead at the MTA. And also to help us foster leadership in those students that are still at Baruch, those students that are looking for a future career, and to let them know how diverse it is here at the MTA. So I came in here at the MTA as a generalist, right, in HR. And then I was able to actually use my talent, find a way to use my talent to do what I love to do, and that is to be a career GPS. That is what I'm offering to you as inside the MTA. That's also what I'm offering Baruch that we can do together, is assist people in getting those jobs that we kind of dream about, right? Many of us have put a lot on the table to go back to school with the hopes of when we get out, we're going to be in a better situation. I'm saying that we can hold the hands to make that happen together. There's options not just for mentoring, but internships. And I'm sorry, I got to get on my soapbox, guys, because we are looking for having at least 150 internships this summer. So when we're talking about our kids, right, And if they're looking for internships, I'd encourage you guys to steer them towards applying to the MTA for internships. There's a lot of experiential learning that can happen. And so for those of you, again, that are working here at the MTA, I'm saying hi, I'm saying email me anytime. I'm saying I'm a support to you. And really this, I'm pretty authentic, I can't help it, right? I'm a support to you. We have MTA University where I'd hope that I could use you to do some teaching too, by the way. We're starting something called Learning Ambassadors, which means that if you know, like we started somewhere. Oops, I gotta be quiet. Janet said, don't steal her thunder. She's gonna talk about that. But anyway, what I wanna say is bring your talent together, and we wanna work together with you to enrich the future of this organization and make sure that we pave the way, because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what they told us anyway as we left. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvelle. Thank you. And Janice.
Oh, Yvelle, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Yvelle wants to steal the only thing that I have to talk about. So my name is Janice McKenzie. I work for Ms. Stanford, and I'm the Director of Organizational Strategy and Design and Acting Director of Engagement and Retention. So I am not a Baruch alumni. I'm very jealous because the college that I attended is all the way in Baltimore, Maryland. However, as I sit in these meetings and hear the excitement about what can happen with this group, I am excited for you, Art. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. I have been in the meetings and I'm sitting and I'm hearing the excitement. And what I know is that when we come together, we can make anything work. One of the areas that I lead are internships. So Yvelle will come to me and she'll say, hey, how can we hone in on all of the talent that Baruch has? How can we hone on the talent that all of the different groups here at the MTA have? So we'll be definitely reaching out to you. I wanted to share with you, my colleagues have a wonderful program and it's called MTA Learning Ambassadors. That really looks at different groups at the agency and says, what have you mastered? If you have mastered a specific subject, a specific area, we would like you to come into our classrooms, come into our virtual classrooms, and really help us to share what you have mastered with the rest of the MTA. So I will make sure we send out the flyers for our MTA Learning Ambassador. We actually have a meeting tomorrow from 12 to 1 about that session. And maybe you can have the Baruch Alliance being some masterminds for us in teaching some of these courses. So we have an open door for you if you have questions about this learning ambassadorship, and my colleagues who are the experts, they are ready, willing, and able to answer all of your questions. And I'm excited to see what you all will bring. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. And before we jump right into the breakout rooms, just a quick question. Many of you, Janice, you talked about the MTA Learning Ambassadors. Yvelle, you talked about Yvelle, you and Lucy talked about the many opportunities here at the MTA. Where exactly can everyone go? Where can they click to a website so they can go to, so they're able to find out what jobs are available, find out what internships are available, and Janice, find out more about the Learning Ambassadors? Is there any way you can just type the links in the website if it's possible?
Sure. We'll do
Will
that.
do.
Put it in there right now. It's new.mta.info/careers, but I will post it in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. And Janet, won't you just go ahead and jump right in really quick?
Yes, absolutely. I am just going to spotlight a couple of my colleagues who are here today from our various career offices. Let me see. add spotlight. We have Ellen Stein and Michael Kalish from the STAR Career Development Center. Ellen is the director of the STAR program that serves our 14,000 plus Baruch undergraduate students. Maybe it's up to 16,000. It's a huge number. It's a 18,000 sold. Michael Kalish is our internship guru, and he supports all of our students, undergraduate students who are looking for internships. So we're delighted to have him with us. And if you have internship opportunities, we'll certainly work with Yvelle and Janice, but he's the guy. We have Justin Makarewicz with us from the Zicklin Graduate Career Management Center, where we have new master's degree programs in cybersecurity and data analytics, as well as our traditional MBA program, finance, accounting, etc. Suzanne Grossman is here from our Marks Career Development Center for the graduate program, and can speak to opportunities for our students in the public administration space. I believe we have a couple other colleagues with us as well. I know Stefano was with us for a moment. And Marion Viray is here as well. Hello, Marion. Marion's also from the STAR Career Development Center, and he stewards a very special tech program that we have for students who are interested in tech careers. So he's the rock star to speak with as well. So thank you to all of our colleagues from the career offices for being here. I am now going to put you randomly into breakout rooms for a little bit of get to know you time. It's as if you have a glass of water, champagne, iced tea, your choice, and we're just having a chance to chat with one another at an informal cocktail reception or at a lunch. This is a chance for you to get to know fellow Baruch graduates across the organization. As with close to 250 alumni within the MTA, it's great to know other people in other departments to help serve your business purposes, to network with other folks, to find sponsors and mentors, and just to create a greater sense of community. We're going to put you in for about 15 minutes, and I have colleagues from our career offices in each room to help with conversations, but please just introduce yourself, talk about your current role, and anything about your Baruch experience or whether you're looking for talent. So happy networking, folks. We'll see you in about 15 minutes. We really look forward to hosting more opportunities for you and your fellow alumni to mix and mingle virtually as well as in person. And with that, I'll pass things back to Neftali.
Thank you, Janet. And I just want to say thank you all. I had an opportunity to jump into a breakout room and was ecstatic about what I had just witnessed when, Lucy was talking to another alum and there was an opportunity for that alum to get another job. So this is what this is all about. And I thank all of you for being here. This, as you know, is being recorded and will be sent to everybody that registered and attended today, so that you might share it with some of your colleagues as well, alumni colleagues. And there's more that's going to be coming down the line. So just be aware of your emails, because this is just the beginning of a new partnership that has began. Special thank you to Lucy, Yvelle, and Janice for being here today and speaking on behalf of the MTA and allowing us to recognize how important this collaboration is and how important this network is. And there is so much opportunities here, and I'm just glad that we're able to connect all the MTA alumni together. And so as we begin this new collaboration as a Baruch family at the MTA, thank you all so much. Everyone, take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for joining.